Finally, you've arrived. Very well. It's best that we waste no time. Follow me. We called you in as soon as we understood what we were dealing with. Given your background and prerequisites, you were my first option. I apologize for collecting you so suddenly and without notice, but you must have an idea what it is I'm about to show you, considering you are the one we wanted. In here, we've been after this one for quite some time. We were surprised when we came across him. Have a look. I expected your reaction to be as much. You, my dear, are looking at the elusive Jason Voorhees, officially secured and contained, just on the other side of that glass. We've been trying to get him here for years, but the government had their claws in him for what the government always wants my anomalies for. The ones they know of, anyway. Which aren't many, but obviously I'm referring to weaponization. The government got a hold of Jason way before we ever did. Held him up in a subpar science facility on a secluded military base on American soil. The O5s, in their ultimate wisdom, decided it best not to get involved. Too many politics and too much time to waste when there were too many other anomalies wreaking havoc, unbeknownst amongst the general population. The research they collected on him was substandard, but that's to be expected with the government-owned lab rats. Once the research was concluded, they planned to induce him into a cryogenic sleep. However, due to a poor last-minute decision on the government's part when they decided they needed more militaristic research, he was able to get loose and dispatch most of the facility personnel. At that point, the higher-ups decided it was time to intervene. Of course, there were a lot of protests from military heads, but their puppet masters are well aware of how non-existent their authority is when it comes to the Foundation. I cannot honestly say why we did not take Jason sooner, but we have him now. That is why I brought you here. I am aware of your past research on the Crystal Lake anomaly. It's not simply a professional courtesy, though we did work together in the field some time ago, and I have seen what you can do. I kept up with your development through the years, and I am not unimpressed. You have done quite well for yourself, and have more than excelled in your field. Your research on the M1710 project was top-notch. I understand that Crystal Lake has piqued your interest over the past few years, and despite the blockades, you were able to gather quite a significant amount of data in order to form some preliminary theories. That's why I want you on this. I want you as head of the research team. That's why I want you on this. I want you as head of the research team of the Jason Voorhees and Crystal Lake anomaly. If you say yes, you will have full access to the information confiscated from the Crystal Lake Research Facility. You will also be able to devise your own methods of research. You will have complete and total reign over this project with only myself to report to. You will have complete access to Foundation materials to aid your investigation into the anomaly, including as many D-class personnel as you would need whenever you need it. I'm giving this research top priority. If you agree to come on board with me, I would like to offer you a long-term position. You will have level 5 security clearance. You will hold the rank of a senior researcher. You will have some say in what projects you wish to take on. You will have your own team, who you will use as you will to aid in the research. I want you to be a permanent part of my foundation. I have put in the request for you to the authorities, and they do not dispute it. I have filed all of your transfer papers personally. Everything is all set. I want you in my foundation, and I want you here immediately. I have already constructed a lab on site for your own personal use, filled with the latest and most valuable technology in the research field. But you can of course request anything that you would like. All that is left to do is for you to say yes or no. Accept or decline my offer, bearing in mind that if you decline, the Jason Voorhees and Crystal Lake anomaly are now under my jurisdiction, meaning that according to procedure, I would have to confiscate all the work you have done and block you from any further research on this matter. It is not something that I wish to do, but it is something that must be done. You are no stranger to policy or caution, so I am sure you understand, and already knew this would be a measure to be taken. As a hobby, there was nothing the Foundation could do against your research. But now, as it falls under Foundation jurisdiction, anyone who is not on the list of clearances may have no access to this knowledge or information, and I am aware with how much effort you have put into this matter already, and taking it from you is not something I wish to do. You are obviously passionate about the research into this anomaly, which is why I believe you to be the best choice for this task. I do apologize for the ultimatum, old friend. It is not something I take pleasure in giving you, but that is the reality and the decision you face. However, I am rather confident in my ability to predict your answer. It seems rather clear, does it not? Keep your research and continue it officially with all the resources you could possibly need. Obtain a larger and well-equipped laboratory. Be given the freedom to conduct your research of anomalies of your choice. For the most part, an upscale in rank, an upscale in pay, your own research team, access to anomalies on and off site. Or you can continue doing as you do now. Hours and years worth of research you have poured your soul into, taken from you. Continue your duties now, where the majority of them consist of mere statistics and logistics and data planning. It is very true you are good at what you do, but I know you. And I know that you are never really satisfied with anything less than diving into the unknown and bringing back a wealth and scores of knowledge. You, my friend, are the kind who is never afraid to look into the abyss and analyze it, understand it, and manipulate it. And that is why you make a damn good researcher, and that is why I want you to have this position. Even the council agrees you are a major asset to research divisions of this facility. It's a promotion you deserve. So, what will it be? Will you sign on the dotted line, or will you walk out that door and turn your back on everything you have earned and so hard for? That's what I thought. All I need you to do is sign right here, and we can get started. That's it. Good. I'd like to give you a bit of background information as a basis to work with. This information was collected at the Crystal Lake Research Facility and has mostly been corroborated. He was born in the small town of Crystal Lake on June 13, 1946, to Elias and Pamela Voorhees. He was afflicted with facial deformities, mental disability, and was a severe hydrocephalic. Pamela Voorhees raised her son on her own and kept him isolated from the community. She did not allow him to attend school and educated him in her own manner in their home on the outskirts of Crystal Lake. In the summer of 1957, she was unable to find anyone willing to babysit her son and resorted to bringing him along with her to Camp Crystal Lake, where she was employed as a cook. Severely tormented by other children, Jason was thrown into the lake where he drowned. However, his body was never found and the camp was shut down. They attempted to reopen the following year, but Pamela Voorhees, mad with grief, murdered the counselor she blamed for the death of her son due to their neglect and lack of supervision over the children. Any further attempts to reopen the camp also failed. While no evidence was ever found to form anything concrete, it was believed a reopening was never possible due to sabotage by Pamela Voorhees. This earned Crystal Lake the nickname Camp Blood by the townspeople. Somehow, after death, Jason Voorhees was resurrected. It is unsure of how this happened, but current speculation is that his mother was involved with the occult and obtained and used the Necronomicon in attempts to revive him. Though it is clear she did not believe it to actually work, as Jason lived alone for 21 years in the surrounding forest, seemingly awaiting for his mother to come and find him. While Jason had been confirmed of suffering mental disability, it is suggested that the resurrection gave him an increased intelligence as he constructed himself a crude shelter and managed to survive off the land for so long. In the summer of 1979, the son of the original Camp Crystal Lake founders, Steve Christie, attempted to reopen the camp, enlisting and hiring several young teenagers from the nearby town. Enraged and completely severed from reality at this point, Pamela murdered Christie and nearly all of his employees. However, she was decapitated with a machete out of self-defense by Alice Hardy. Apparently having witnessed this, Jason eventually tracked down and killed Hardy, which effectively sparked his affinity for mass murder. That is his basic early biography. There is more of it in the files recovered from Crystal Lake Facility. I'm sure there are some facts with which you are well aware. However, there are also some that were quite interesting. Jason had been through ordeals that would kill any human, yet he still lives. His body has even been hacked to pieces, yet there he stands completely whole. This regeneration ability intrigues me the most. I would like for you to make that a critical aspect of your research. The Foundation has also secured Crystal Lake. While it is a possibility that Pamela Voorhees resurrected Jason with the use of the Necronomicon until it is confirmed, we cannot rule out the possibility that the lake itself is an anomaly. Perhaps the main anomaly of which Jason Voorhees is a simple byproduct. I am hesitant to say anything with certainty yet, though I have no doubt that you will be able to provide me with substantial facts. The Council has requested investigation into Crystal Lake. Your main priority and first task is to decipher whether it is actually the lake itself that has created this anomaly. I have ordered a reconnaissance mission that went into effect roughly 12 hours ago. I have ordered the team to track down and locate the Necronomicon and bring it into the facility for containment and research, as well as to secure it from falling into the hands of any other civilian. We've been pumping Jason with sedatives to keep him docile. So far, it has worked, but whether or not it is simply the sedatives or simply the fact that he has no stimuli is yet unclear. We know he can go into an almost hibernation-like state, but I'm not sure he can induce this voluntarily. However, that's a base observation. It might be an interesting note to make for further development. Stage 3 sedatives were able to render him unconscious for hours, during which time we effectively contained him and introduced vital and biological monitoring devices into his body, which are transmitting data to the computer as we speak. You will, of course, be given full access to this information. If you wish to introduce more sedatives, you may do so. I have assigned one of my best medical examiners to this case, who will handle anything of that nature that you might need. I have compiled a list of researchers and assistants I believe would be best suited in the research of this anomaly. However, before a final decision is made, I would like to have your opinions on the personnel, as well as if you know of anyone who you believe would be well suited. Send me their information and their credentials, and I will consider it. However, I need these decisions by 0900. I have research personnel on site at Crystal Lake if you wish to join them. We have a small observance and field laboratory set up where they are currently collecting rudimentary samples at the moment. Water, soil, vegetation, all over a 5-mile radius surrounding the lake. We did not believe more area than that needed to be contained. However, we will adjust accordingly if necessary. The field team have been working around the clock ever since we obtained the lake. Information from their findings have been trickling in over the past few hours. I've ordered them to take collections from every biological and environmental component in the vicinity. We also have security personnel on site and an inside man on the local town's police force to keep an eye on things. And the civilians? The civilians are well aware, or at least they have an incredibly good idea of what went on up at Crystal Lake. They've been plagued by the anomaly for years. It's absolutely repulsive their government allowed them to be so conscious of it and allow it to go on for so long. However, the townspeople have not posed any immediate threat to the operation. They're curious, but security keeps them at bay. Things are peaceful in the surrounding area, and I wanted to stay that way. These people aren't ignorant. They have numerous urban legends of sorts that they tell about the lake and Jason to explain the supernatural components, but these people are well aware that these legends are deeply rooted in fact and truth. So while they are curious, I don't believe these people want our operation to fall under jeopardy any more than we do. They want to feel safe. They want to be safe. I want them to be safe. So safe they will be. I will not tolerate any threats to the safety of these civilians. I will take swift and immediate action should any hazard arise. I will neutralize any threat to the mental and physical safety of the innocents. You will immediately inform me without delay any suspicions you may have that could even marginally put these people in harm's way. Do I make myself clear? Good. You are welcome to visit Crystal Lake and enter the town as you please. I have transport standing by for you. If you wish to check up on the field research or research personnel, you may do so. I will be sending them a status report, informing them of you and your position, as well as some other vital information, as soon as we conclude our business here. They were mobilized as soon as we secured the site. They haven't exactly been there very long, but they're an efficient team, and have managed to collect a significant amount of data in this time. I do believe you will find them to your liking and to your benefit. Look at that. He's waking up. We haven't interacted with him when he's been conscious as of yet, except to shoot him with tranquilizers. Open the comm. I want to speak to him. Jason Voorhees, listen to me and listen to me good. I know you can understand me. You are dead, yet you are alive. You have existed for many years and suffered fatal ordeals virtually unscathed. This makes you an anomaly, and you stand accused of the murder of over 120 innocent civilians. This makes you dangerous. Therefore, you have been secured and contained within this facility. This makes you mine. I am aware you were held by the American government, and you were able to escape. No doubt you expect the same outcome now, but I am not the government. I supersede the government. I am Site Director Aurora, and this is my foundation. I will make your stay at the government facility look like a holiday. You are now property of the SCP Foundation. You have been deemed an anomaly, and therefore you now belong to us. We hold full rights over your body, your being, your existence, and anything that stems from yourself or exists by direct relation to yourself. You are subject to any and all tests the Foundation deems fit to subject you to. You do not have a say in the matter. You will not leave the Foundation premises. Never. You will not have contact with civilian population. Period. Consider yourself officially secured and contained indefinitely. I have work to do, and so do you. If you have candidates for the research team, I want them by 0900. You are to begin your work immediately. If there is anything you require, it will be provided to you. I want your first report in 72 hours, delivered to my desk, personally. Dismissed.